I think that's kind of the biggest key with mysteries is you want to disseminate the information at the right time, but also play with the audience, because sometimes you want to be able to, like, when you watch it again, realize that the thing that was there, it was sitting there in the frame, and it just what you didn't realize it, right? But they're great times that you can, the great little visual plays you can build into it.
Now you might say that's impossible. The door was locked from the inside, but that's where the cinnamon floss comes into play.
Right, cinnamon floss. I guess I'm not over the part where you're a human lie detector.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but...
My favorite color is yellow.
Bullshit.
I grew up in Old Time Box.
Bullshit.
I grew up in Tanglewood. Wow. You ever gamble? Because you can make a killing.
Nah.
I loved my husband. How about that one?
Out of my purview.
I was interested in the film business when I was in high school, but I didn't know much about it. I just was really interested in movies and wanted to learn more about what they were. I started doing photography for the school newspaper, and then took a photography course, and then started spending more time outside of school in the dark room, and just kind of really fell in love with the whole process. And I didn't really have any connections except for one documentary company. And so I started working for them, and when they went into production on a docudrama for HBO, and I met a cinematographer, Tom Richmond, and I was like blown away that there was this whole industry, and this guy was at the center of all of this activity, and it was so linked to photography, which I loved. So I kind of it seemed like a good path. I've worked with Ryan Johnson for years. I started out on Brick. I was the gaffer on Brick, and then also did some second unit work. And then as his career grew, I kept doing second unit work on all his movies, with the exception of one, the first Knives Out. And so then when he mentioned that he was going to do a TV series, I was immediately like, sign me up. Basically anything that Ryan does, I'm sold on. The key is it's about information that you're giving the audience, and the more you can do that visually and not expositionally, the better. A lot of time and effort goes into what's every part of the frame, and where is the information, because Ryan's really efficient with how he tells stories visually. And so that carried into, with each of the directors that were coming in, each one paid really close attention to what information are we giving and what aren't we giving. Ryan has this kind of approach to all of his films that he calls theatrical realism. It's just like every day, but like the best version of every day. It's not a haphazard type of photography. It's a very thought through process. Each shot is designed to tell another piece of the story, so nothing is wasted. In terms of the story structure, there's that brilliant element that you're seeing the story unfold all the while Charlie is there, but you don't understand that she's there until we come back. And we know that, and as people keep watching the show, they're going to know that. And so leaning in slightly to some of that stuff, where, if it's in the barbecue episode that there's a shadow that's played, that early on, like you see some sequence and you see a tray get pulled away, then that's Charlie, but you don't know it at the time, and trying to play a little bit with the audience, that was really a really fun process. The finale was amazing to the way in which storylines came back, and Janixa Bravo was just such an artist in terms of, you know, how she directed the entire episode. If you twisted my arm and I had to choose one, it would probably be Natasha's episode, the one that Natasha directed, which is episode 8. It's the Orpheus Syndrome. The world that Natasha created kind of seeped into every aspect of what we were doing, like into the costume design and into the production design and into the cinematography in a way that was just, it felt so all encompassing. Like, you know, it really, it was something really special. And on the day it was like she's just such an amazing artist to work with. And to watch her in the director's seat was something really special. And then also, you know, like this is like totally the personal thing, is like, so when I first thought about, wow, maybe I could work in the movie business, the thing I really wanted to do was be a special effects man. I wanted to like do that thing, you know, and make creatures, and I wanted to be Nick Nolte's character, right? And then I like interned with this special effects artist, and he said, oh, it's all about sculpting. So I went home and tried to sculpt something. I was so terrible. I'm like, I have no talent in this. I have to do something else. So, but to be around that and to have Phil Tippett there, and it's like, I mean, this is my hero from my childhood. It was like, there's some special moments on sets where you have this out of body experience where you're watching the whole thing come together, and it seems surreal that you could have ended up in this moment in time watching it in this place. It was just awe-inspiring. It was like, overwhelming, you know? And I mean, I got to play with Phil Tippett. I mean, come on. Oh, I mean, I think that at our core, humans are storytellers. Like, it's just built into our genetic structure. And to me, visual storytelling is quite possibly the most compelling, you know, to create an image where someone sees it and is moved in a way, whether subtly or very overtly, but to be able to add to a story in a way that just elevates the entire thing is really something, you know, it's both challenging and like a really amazing puzzle, but then it's also really fulfilling because I love storytelling, you know. I want to go see the movies. Like, it's so funny because, I mean, Ryan, every time I read one of Ryan's scripts, I'm like, I cannot wait to see this. Like, they're great to read, but then you're just like, I can't wait to sit in a theater and watch this. Because, you know, they're just amazing stories.